Hi guys, this is Psychic Astro, and this is me without makeup or really giving a fuck how I look, because I can. In fact, I'm in bed. I'm in bed. Let's get to it. So, the first thing I want to talk about, because I am noticing this in my own personal life, so I feel like everybody else must be too. What the fuck? Looks like I got those 80s shoulders going on, the shoulder pads. Pluto going retrograde in Aquarius in that 11th house. Now, this is going to be a collective reading. This is going to be intuitive hits, psychic hits, and just, yeah, messages that I feel like I'm getting about this energy that we can be experiencing, feeling, manifesting in the month of August. Pluto in retrograde. So retrogrades are a redo. It's a rethink. Go back to something, right? Except I feel like Pluto retrogrades are very difficult. Hi. Because you're seeing something about yourself that needs to change. But retrogrades, you're probably going to go back to having to redo something in your life regarding your psyche, your mind, your shadow. Okay, big time. And I feel like we may go back. We may be tempted to go back to old ways of doing things. So for example, I feel like every time I go on TikTok, I'm instantly getting annoyed because everybody's selling something. I think I already mentioned this in the July reading. I'm not too sure, maybe the June. But basically, like, I feel like what's going to happen is the collective going to be able to trust social media content creators? I feel like some of them are getting way too ahead of themselves. It makes me disgusted, and I'm probably just going to pull out from this whole thing. See, there's Pluto in retrograde in that 11th house. I feel like, as a psychic and as somebody who genuinely loves astrology, I'm dying on this. Like, I don't want to do this. I feel like I should, because of me wanting to help the collective humanity, while at the same time being recognized for it. And there's no shade in that. I think people get the wrong idea about people who like are putting stuff out there on the internet, like, oh, it must mean this, it must mean, it doesn't always mean that. Okay. You could be two things at once. All right, there's still integrity. But my point is this, is that I think it's kind of like with psychics. Like, if you have one bad psychic experience, then that psychic is going to mess it up for you. You're going, and this isn't everybody, it depends how you were raised. But more than likely, like, you're gonna have a bad taste is gonna stay in your mouth about psychics. So it's like, if you go back to a psychic after your bad experience, you may be more skeptical. You may be more vague in your question and the information you give, because you don't trust them. I feel like that is now going to happen with social media content creators, where it's like, the lesson here is to really do things from your heart, authenticity, without caring if you're going to be judged. And also, like, it's okay to promote products. I 1000% back that up as a businesswoman. I do. But it's like, make sure you actually believe in what it is you're trying to sell. Don't be a sellout, you know? And I think that's hard because money is hard to say no to. So yeah, I think Pluto in retrograde is making us rethink the people who have power, um, with large groups of people. So for example, I've said this, I'm going to keep saying this. Celebrities, are they relatable? Like, not so much. Most of them anyway. So yeah, I think the power dynamic, power struggles are going to be between apps like TikTok and the social media content creators, or the people who want to be social media content creators. And there's going to be some sneaky going on behind the scenes regarding money or contracts. Why? Because Lilith, Vesta, and Juno are in Scorpio in that 8th house. And what planet is the ruler of Scorpio? Pluto. So I do think, TikTok, I mean, maybe this has already happened. I don't know. I'm really bad with keeping up with stuff like this, but like, it's going to be all about the money, honey. You know, like, I just don't think it's going to be a fair algorithm, like, at all. And I know they got in trouble for something like this, but I'm kind of like I'm turning this, a little bit, like, meaning, like maybe if TikTok, and I'm not saying this is it, but like if TikTok has deals with bigger brands and it's like, and you're trying to sell that the competitor brand, then it's like maybe your video won't be seen as much. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like it's not real. It's not real. It's all about money. Um but Aquarius energy is supposed to be for the people, for the collective. Or another thing, okay? So freedom of speech, right? 100% back this up, obviously. However, with Pluto being in retrograde in the 11th house on the internet, it should make sense. It should be fair what these people are saying. So, for example, reviews. I feel very much so you should, hi, kitty yawn, you should be able to prove that you were a customer or a client before being able to leave a review. Why? Because of sneaky brands out there who are trying to make other companies look bad, other people look bad. And it's like, you as the person who created the profile, your public image, don't even have like a sounding board, an argument to try to fight that review, because those bigger companies don't give a shit about you. They care about the bottom dollar. So my point here is that I think the people, there's going to be like a revolution with that Aquarius energy, especially since Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius and it's in Gemini. Learning, I feel like we're going to be learning about some bullshit more so, and it's going to be coming out. And this is where the people actually get their power, because it's bullshit that people can just say whatever they want with that, but it's an actual lie. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, freedom of speech, again, all for it, but you shouldn't just be like a nasty troll. Have you guys ever seen that South Park episode about trolls where there's like this big guy behind the computer and he's like, and he's like breathing heavy because he has weight issues, and he's like typing in his dark room because he is a fucking negative entity. And I'm dead ass serious. Like, people like that shouldn't be allowed to just stir the fucking pot because they hate themselves, they hate their lives, because they can't self-reflect. Fuck that. People should be able to fight that. But the other side of the spectrum here is that you want to realize which fights are worth fighting and what is not worth fighting. Okay, so we're always going to have trolls. We're always going to have these people that just like to spread their negativity, and it's nothing personal. That's what we also have to learn to transform our mind while Uranus is in Gemini, because Gemini is traditionally ruled, Mercury traditionally rules Gemini, right? So this is our mind, our thoughts, communication. It's very open-minded, it's flexible, it's a mutable sign. Uranus is your genius. It's your higher self. It's intuition. Think of the star card in tarot. She's getting like divine insight downloads, those stars that are hitting her head. There's something to that that's going to be happening. Also, expect during this time regarding AI. Do I personally think like those AI robots are going to be like one-on-one with us in society during this transit? No. I think that's more of a thing we can see once which one did I say it was? It was going to be once Pluto goes into Pisces. Will I be alive? I think so. But that's when you can expect some Will Smith shit. Probably more so when Pluto hits Aries. But you can expect this becoming a whole thing where like, "Oh, do you know Craig?" And it's like, Craig is an AI, they just hired Craig. That shit will be once Pluto goes into Pisces, just my personal opinion. Because it's really like, do you believe? Because Pisces energy is, do you believe? Okay. So yeah, is there anything else I want to say that? Because I like had this epiphany with Pluto in retrograde Aquarius. I think we're all going to be rethinking our strategy online. Do we still want to be online? I don't, it could be the other transits in the sky for sure. I don't doubt it. What's ever going on my personal chart, but I can't be the only one. What else? Also, Pluto energy, wherever this is, you want to tell the truth here. That's really key. So I feel like we will all be getting more in touch with our own psyche. We're going to be getting in touch with our psyche, with the collective. Like, and for those of you where it's like you're not into social media content creating, you're not into like putting yourself out there, because I don't think everybody is. This is more about transforming your relationship with people, transforming your relationship with the internet. Like, how often are you on your phone? How often are you socializing? So for like my loners out there, it's like you guys may be changing. I know you guys will be changing your ideas about people, and then also like how much do you share? What do you want to share? And when people are unfair, what do you do? You got to rise above it, or at least this is what we're being asked. I mean, we're always being asked to do that, but there's more of an emphasis here. Pallasthenia is a strategy. So the fact that Pallasthenia is in retrograde as well as Pluto in retrograde, both being in Aquarius, this is telling me again, what is my relationship with the internet? What is my relationship with social networking, groups of people? How do I feel about groups of people? With Pluto being in Aquarius, I can see why some astrologers don't like this, because it's like, expect some bullshit. Like, wherever Pluto is, expect some bullshit. And that's what makes Pluto energy very hard, because it's like you got to let it go. Otherwise, it will kill you. So I think we're going to be learning with Uranus and Gemini, again, Uranus being the ruler of Aquarius, how to deal with the bullshit, how to deal with the deceit, how to think higher, from a higher perspective, in order to let things go. Because again, Pluto energy is the rise of the phoenix, rise of the ashes. With the full moon in Aquarius on August 9th, I feel like something's going to be illuminated on the internet, online, through your groups of friends, through social networking. What will be illuminated? I don't know why I said full moon in Scorpio, or I think I did. But I meant to say full moon in Aquarius. What do I think is going to be illuminated? Because it's going to be in 16 degrees, I do believe in the degree theory. I feel like something is going to be illuminated when it comes to your feelings, your emotions, things going on at home. Are you guys being real? Are you guys being authentic? Why am I going there? Because I'm seeing on the other side of that axis with Leo energy, we are going to have Mercury will be in retrograde, and it's just about to go direct. So I feel like your thoughts and how you communicate about your feelings. Is it surface level? Is it real? Is it too intellectual? Are you guys making everything, are you guys getting deep? You know, like some situations you should, 1000%. You need to be in touch with your own deepness, your own intimacy. But are you guys expressing that on the internet? Are you guys expressing this with friends? Are you being real? I don't know how else to say it, but are you being real with your feelings when it comes to this area of life? Um, Mars is also going to be in Libra around this time. So August 9th, there's going to be a full moon in Aquarius. A few days before this full moon, Mars will have just entered Libra. Okay. And then in Gemini, Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, is in that third house. So I do think there's going to be conflict with how you express yourself to people. I think there could also be potentially mental conflict as well. So, yeah, I don't like Moon and Aquarius energy, just because it's like your emotions are too attached to people. Your emotions are too attached to ups and downs. And it's like when it's down, it's down, you know? No offense to any of my Moon and Aquarius people, but it's, yeah, Aquarius energy is genius energy, it's intuition, but sometimes there's a lot of intuitive hits that only a human can take. Like, there's only so much a human can take, and Aquarius energy is not human. All right, where do I want to go? Let's go to Mars in Libra. This is going to be leaving Virgo and entering Virgo. What? Mars is going to be leaving Virgo and entering Libra August 6th. Okay. Very straightforward things. But if the seventh house is talking about harmony, diplomacy, balance, being fair, relationships, close relationships, people you guys are close with, not just your romantic serious relationship, your long-term relationships, but also business partnerships, as well as your besties, people you feel very close to. I think there's going to be conflict here. I think there's going to be conflict with the peace. That's what I think you guys can expect arguments, disagreements, especially because Mercury will still be in retrograde during this time in Leo. So I think there's going to be miscommunication. I think you guys may sign contracts, where it's like, hey, wait a minute, this isn't fair. And then that person's going to be like, you didn't read, the fine print. And it's like, bitch, what it says in the fine print is not part of the agreement. Like, what do you mean? That's not fair. And they'll be like, I don't know what to tell you. You signed it. So it's just annoying energy. Anyway, moving on. What else? So again, even further confirmation with what I've been saying so far, Venus will still be in Cancer during this time. Venus in Cancer, I think this is nice energy. But Venus is the ruler of Libra. So there's going to be conflict with your feelings based on the debauchery that goes on. There could be also things where it's like you believe this is fair, but maybe it's not fair. So it's like you think there's an injustice with Libra energy. But is there? You got to be really clear that it's not like your emotions controlling you. Anything else I want to say to that? Mars is the ruler of Aries, and if you guys look at what's going on in Aries, we got Saturn in retrograde, we got Chiron in retrograde, Neptune in retrograde, and Ceres is going retrograde August 11th. Boo. Because it's a slowdown, but it's like a physical slowdown. It's a you slowdown. Wherever Aries is in your chart, this is how it will be manifesting. But for my rising Aries and for my Aries, this is how it will be manifesting, where you physically like have wounds that like you need to attend to, or it's like your physical health, your while Mars was in Virgo, I would say your mental well-being, because Mars is the ruler of Aries and it's in Virgo. Mercury rules Virgo. But now it's like there's a slowdown with your schedule, your regimen. It's like, are you guys still getting up at the same time you're supposed to? Are you still doing those things that you need to do? Because even though the South Node is in Virgo in the sixth house, you still need that in order to get to your North Node. So you still need the schedule, you still need the regimen. However, the Pisces energy is, okay, if you missed one day, it's okay, it's just one day, the world doesn't end. But I feel like this is going to take control over feeling tired. Like I said, your physical body is going to take a hit. And it's also, I would say, it could manifest as lack of confidence, lack of motivation for sure. When Saturn goes in retrograde, I mean, the whole collective is going to be feeling this, but lack of motivation to fix things, to get things right. And the same applies for when Mars goes into Libra. You guys may be avoiding conflict. You may avoid trying to disturb the peace because of all the retrogrades going on in Aries, but also Mars in Libra doesn't like to fight. It tries to avoid, but then like once it does, it tries to do it in a very diplomatic way. And then you can't help but like be in love with these people. But really anybody who's dealt with a Mars and Libra, you probably feel different. I also feel like this can be talking about conflicts at home, because again, Venus, the ruler of Libra, is going to be in Cancer, and then Mars will enter Libra. If Mars is talking about conflicts, arguments, motivation, inspiration, then I think you guys are either going to be inspired to like make things right, any conflict that does go on, or it's going to do the opposite effect. You may try to heal problems with the family at this time. This could also definitely be legal problems for some of you, or like trying to win. The North Node in Pisces is encouraging the collective to have faith in something, manifest, believe. It's so funny because I heard one person who watches this tarot reader like, oh, and the universe is always talking to him because basically there's background noise for everything he says. So I guess it's like, oh, the universe is talking to that person because every time he says something, there's a background noise. And I feel like that happens with me too, but I think we just live in busy areas. Like, I just want to put that out there. Like, not everything is always a sign, but there's a lot that is. Okay, so random, but anyway, what else did I want to say to this? Where do I want to go with this? So Uranus being in Gemini in the third house, okay? Mercury rules Gemini. Mercury will be in retrograde, and then it's going to go direct August 11th. So I feel like there will be, I think of the Tower card with Uranus. There is something surprising that happens, and it could either be positive or it's usually negative. Because here's the thing, if it's your higher self, if it's your genius, not most people say they want the truth, but then it's like they really don't mean that. So I feel like this is that. So sometimes the truth can be a rude awakening. Okay, so conversations or old thoughts about the past could arise while Mercury's in retrograde. The sun will still be in Leo at this time while Mercury's in retrograde. So I do feel like there is a light being shined on you guys. Well, wherever Leo is, I want to say in your chart. I just think you guys will be realizing things like suddenly out of nowhere. You'll be realizing things about yourself. Are you guys hiding? Are you guys hiding from something? Or are you guys dealing with whatever downloads you do get? I'm saying it like this because the downloads, again, are either going to be positive or negative things about you and your self-expression. With the fifth house, this is also romance. This is children. So you guys may randomly have an idea about romance. You may randomly want to put yourself out there. You may randomly want to be seen because you have an idea, an innovative idea, going back to an old idea or thought where it's like, okay, it wasn't working this way, but now I can make this work. Now I can make this happen. So yeah. Jupiter in Cancer, I like this. Of course, it's exalted. It feels good. I would say, again, with the North Node being in Pisces and Jupiter being in Cancer, this pushes the whole storyline of have faith in something in order to persevere. Is that the word? Persevere. The ninth house, Jupiter traditionally rules that ninth house in Sagittarius. So this is either talking about traveling, going back to school, or this could be talking about spirituality, like I said, faith, belief system, manifestation practices. Anything else I want to say there? No. Where do I want to go from here? Venus will be leaving Cancer and going into Leo August 25th. Love it. At this time, the sun, the ruler of Leo, will be in the sixth house in Virgo. I feel like there's always something. It's like it could never be beautiful transit. It's like, because that wouldn't be life, okay? It wouldn't be life without all of it. No. So anyway, I think you guys are going to want to find... I've said this before in a similar way while Mars was in Virgo, but you guys are going to... You guys are going to want to find the most perfect partner. It's not me. But you guys are going to want to find somebody that is beautiful with the Venus and Leo, somebody that's fun, somebody that's exciting, somebody that has passion, because you're going to be feeling very passionate about having fun, self-expression, being seen. You're going to want attention. You're going to want to be appreciated. And I'm not saying that like in a bad way. Like, it's fine. I think people just have the wrong idea about fifth house energy. And at this point, let me see, so Mercury will still be in retrograde while, No, that's not true. Mercury will be direct. Okay, good, good, good. So when Venus enters Leo, Mercury will go direct. So that means leaving the past in the past. And I feel like this also goes for work. For those of you that are looking for a place to work at where it's like you feel seen, valued, appreciated, or making money off of self-expression, creativity, artsy stuff, or whatever it is you feel passionate about with your heart. This is for those of you that have been putting the time and effort who will actually see this back. I do believe that despite Saturn being in retrograde, Neptune being in retrograde, when Mercury is in Leo and it goes direct, I think you guys are going to want to be seen. Like I said before, I think you guys will want to conversate with people who actually appreciate you guys, value you. I also believe a lot of you who will be going back out to the dating world. I feel like these transits are backing it up with Mercury going direct and Venus going into Leo. The sun being in Virgo, you're going to be seen for work or working out, your body, healing, because this is the house of healing, your daily regimen, your schedule, actual work, doing work. So I feel like you're going to be shining when it comes to this area of your life, wherever Virgo is. There's going to be a new moon August 22nd. I feel like something new would be happening when it comes to literally you being like conversations about being appreciated or seen. Why? Because Mercury is the ruler of Virgo and it's going to be in Leo in the 5th house. This energy, it's like with the sun, again, wherever it is, you're going to be seen. And then since the sun is the ruler of Leo and we have Mercury here, and Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, I really do believe you guys are going to, for those of you that don't feel seen, it's like you're going to want to be seen. And I do feel like people will be talking about you guys. That can manifest in a negative way or a good way. Why? Because the South Node is in Virgo, the past, and then opposite. Oh, okay, so as I was saying, with Mercury in opposition, or I just want to say Leo energy in opposition to Pluto, Pallas Athena, and retrograde in Aquarius, I just feel like it could be something negative about the past or trying to transform your mind about the past and not allowing it to affect you, because there is some type of theme like that going on. Because the 6th house is the house of the healing, and the North Node in Pisces can be very healing. I think you guys are being asked to, I want to say, okay, hold on. So what I'm also channeling is with this new moon, there could be new conversations about hookups, dating, having sex, because we have a lot of sexually magnetic placements right now. Lilith being in Scorpio, Venus being in Leo. What else? I know there's another one I'm missing. Nah, I wouldn't say that one. We'll just stick with that. So yeah, I just think new conversations is what you guys can expect. But what will these conversations be about? Mars and Libra, we already discussed it. Where I'm going to end this reading is the Scorpio energy. Lilith, Vesta, Juno. I think you guys are trying to figure out the passion. Again, when it comes to, I want to say the passion when it comes to expression, like self-expression, because I'm picking up on Leo energy. I'm picking up on that 5th house, and I feel like it's because it's opposing Aquarius energy, and Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, is in Aquarius. So I feel like, what is your intimate relationship with expressing yourself? Again, for some of you, are you guys going too deep? Should you be more, I don't think Aquarius energy is fake. I love Aquarius energy, but like, it's not so deep with Aquarius energy. It's just not. If we're talking about the 11th house, it's not so deep. So I feel like this may be transforming and how you express certain things, express your feelings. Trying to balance out the Aquarius and Leo energy. That's what I feel like is happening with that, with Lilith, Vesta, and Juno. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys for the month of August. I hope it helps.